Thursday, November 18th, 2021, and we're docked at Edfu on the Oberoi Philly, and today we're going to go to the Temple of Horus and the Temple of Kum Ambo. Here's the upper deck lounge area. And walking the length of the upper deck, you can see where the bar is. Some outside seating area. A comfortable pool. And the bow of our boat. So you can go upstairs to pool and sun deck, and we're on deck E now, where there are various cabins. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Very good.
We have one of the good ones.
Hair salon. And here is the gym. All with a nice view from deck E. You can go to the lower decks with the elevator. And here comes the elevator now. Okay, it's good. And now we'll take it to C deck. Ooh, where the cigar lounge is. Didn't know that. Kind of cool. Let's enjoy C deck. To go from the C deck, I like using the stairs, which you can use the stairs or the elevator. And now we're going to the main deck. So this is the COVID test.
Yes.
So I'm sitting down. Excuse me. Boy, that's deep. Oh, wow. Okay, very good. Oh. So now we have the main deck lounge. Rafi,
Yes.
Thank you very much for all you're doing.
Thank you, sir. Thank
You're
you, Mr.
welcome.
Dutch. Thank you.
So it's going toward the bow, the front of the boat. Oh, library lounge. I have to see what that is. Another set of stairs. So here we have the library lounge. Looks like the cigar bar. Some nice looking cigars. This is the main ballroom where we come in at, and then going one deck lower, we go to the dining room where there's many meals being served. We just got done with breakfast. Being seated at many of these tables, and they always have a good selection of food. The salmon is always my favorite, and that is almost gone. So we had a good breakfast. Always a nice centerpiece. So everybody survived the COVID test?
As far as we
You know, we were talking about it before, but I think she was trying to do a lobotomy, you know? So we're in Edfu right now? Okay. So today we go by horse and buggy.
It is. Another beautiful day. Yep.
I said it's hard to believe here in Florida, but it's hard to believe it's the middle of November.
The Oberoi filling. Well, we're going by horse and carriage today. Everybody gets to go in one. There's 2 to a carriage. So Deb has invited me to join her.
Invited you to join her?
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, that's cool. Okay, my dear. So we are in 115. Oh, thank you.
Morning.
Hello, good morning.
1:15, huh?
Yes, we are 115.
Better write that down in there, man.
They gave me a note
Oh. Where is it?
in my pocket.
Okay.
So we're heading down.
Oh, how nice is this, huh?
Mr. Driver, is this Edfu? Edfu? Edfu.
Gotta give it great. We have a fancy one.
So how are you guys doing? Nice ride. 1 horsepower. I think everybody else has a half horsepower.
This is fun. It's so much better than a bus.
You know, this is really cool. Being able to take this horse and carriage. We are getting to the Temple of Horus, which is just over this mound here. So that's what the horse and buggy looks like, getting into the Temple of Horus. We have our own private entrance here. Look at that, they have the horse stalls.
Nice.
Oh, you can see the Temple of Horus in the background.
All right.
All right. Do we do a radio check?
What?
Radio check?
What's ready to check?
We check the radio.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Check.
Oh, I thought. Yeah. Oh. Mayday, mayday.
My name is Mohammed. No touch, no hustle, no bushing.
Okay.
This is my business card after the finish.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Here you go. Show the ticket to the guy and wait for me in the shade inside. For Horus the falcon to commemorate his victory over his uncle Seth. Seth was the crocodile god, was the hippopotamus. He was the evil god, and
Evil God?
he was Osiris was the good god, and he killed. Seth killed his brother Osiris.
So the good God killed the bad God? Or the bad God?
The bad god killed the good god.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How did Egypt survive?
It didn't. Those are the bathrooms. The Temple of Relief.
If they build a pyramid, they can build anything?
Yeah. If you can build a pyramid, you can build anything. If you want to sit down for a minute, the Temple of Edfu. This is the most well-preserved temple that we have in Egypt. Dates back from 200 BC to 200 AD. A Greek Roman temple that was built from the inside to the outside. It was built to commemorate the victory of Horus, the falcon, when he overcame his uncle Seth. Osiris was the good god. He was the one who taught the Egyptians how to cultivate the lands, how to harvest their crops, and how to build their homes. Seth, his brother, was the evil god. And he was jealous from Osiris, so he decided to get rid of him. So he invited all the ancient Egyptian gods to a famous party. He asked all the ancient gods to try the sarcophagus that he made. It was the size of Osiris. And when the turn came to Osiris, after all the gods tried the coffin, he sealed it, he closed it, and he sealed it, and he threw it in the delta. Well, years later, when Seth was in the delta, like walking around, he found the coffin of his brother. He was afraid his brother would come back So he decided to cut him to pieces. So he cut him to 40 pieces, and some people say 42 pieces, you know, forming, and he scattered those pieces all over the country, forming the 40 states. Those who say 40 pieces say ancient Egypt was divided into 40 states, and those who say 42 pieces say that ancient Egypt was divided into 42 states, you know. But anyways, his masculine organ was thrown in the river, and a Nile perch ate his organ. And that's why the religious people in the past were not allowed to eat the Nile perch. Nice. Horus, the son of Osiris, his mother Isis, was the aid of goddess Hathor. And please again call her Hathor and not Hathor. It's H-A-T-H-O-R, Hathor. She is the cow goddess, the goddess of love, joy, maternity, and magic. So she gave magic to Isis and made her the goddess of magic. And Isis, with the magic she got from Hathor, was able to get all the pieces that was scattered of her husband Osiris. And she married him again. They got married, and she gave birth to Horus. She gave birth to Horus, and since Horus the falcon was a little boy, she decided to teach him how to take revenge from his uncle Seth, who killed his father. When he grew up, he was able, the fight went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and he was able to overcome his uncle Seth in Edfu. In Edfu. And the word Edfu means the spear. This is what he used in the fight. That's where the name came from. Here, to commemorate the victory of Horus over his uncle Seth. To commemorate the victory. And this temple was gone. This temple was buried in sand for years and years. Until it was excavated. And that's why it's well preserved. Hatshepsut did it. Greek-Roman followed the same steps. Every pharaoh said that he is divine. Some pharaohs went to the point that they said they were the gods. Ramses II said, "Don't you know I am the god of Egypt, and those rivers are running underneath me." Rivers, he said, not river, rivers. Means there were lots of branches of the Nile in the past before it dried out along the years. Anyways, struggle, as I told you, went back and forth between Horus the falcon and his uncle Seth, who was represented as a hippopotamus. Why a hippopotamus? Because the hippopotamus was good for nothing for the ancient Egyptians. It only made noise, and they, by the way, they overkilled the hippopotamus in the past. Now, we're gonna walk down this way, have a look at the from the forehead, and hitting him with a spear, and hitting him with a spear. This is the struggle between the Ptolemy and the enemies of Egypt. He's trying to act like the ancient pharaohs who used to do the same thing in the past. And then Horus the falcon in front of him, and then Isis on the other side. You can see Isis and Horus the falcon giving an offering. And in front of him is the Ptolemy, hitting the enemies with a spear. And there are two statues of Horus the falcon in front of us. Horus was the double crown, the white and red of the north and south. And up there by the entrance, you can see a solar disk and two winged cobras to the right and to the left-hand side. You still can see the remains of the colors, the blue color that is still there since the past. The sun in the morning make noise when the sun rises. This wall shows the boats, the boat rides.
Oh, on the bottom there.
Yeah, on the bottom. Hathor comes from Dendara all the way to the temple here.
Do you want to get here?
She's going upstream. Again is the current. So they spread the sails. You know what I mean? Again is the current. They spread the sails to be able to go. The wind will take them again as the current. When Horus is going from here all the way to Dendara, he's going downstream with the current. So they tie the sails. That explains why some of the boats with the sails spread out and some are not. The sails are not. Hathor, the cow goddess, the goddess of love, joy, maternity, and marriage, would she would come here and she would marry Horus the falcon here in this temple. And then Horus would go from this temple all the way to Dendara and marry her once a year. So they did this ceremony twice a year. The empty cartouches is a clear sign of instability. Rotation was so vast. Ptolemy come and then he leaves, and then another Ptolemy come. It was, lots of troubles and lots of strange things that happened. Never cared to come to the south because this is hot. Hot and maybe dirty and maybe not clean and not well taken care of, so they never cared to come to the south. They were living in Alexandria, and that explains the empty cartouches, because they never come and check. The central government was in Alexandria, they ordered building the temple, and that was about it. This is the empty cartouches. Now we have the Ptolemy here, he's being crowned. They're putting a crown over his head, the double crown, the white and red of the north and south. And that's the Ibis God taught the God of wisdom. And Horus the falcon, that's Horus the falcon. Alexander died pretty young, at the age of 32. Having no children at all, the whole empire was divided among his shadows, how the temple was built. This is the Ptolemy. This is the Ptolemy preparing the grounds for building the temple. And what they have here is Horus the falcon, and this is goddess Isis, and here is the Ptolemy removing the sand for preparing the grounds for building the Ptolemy. You see that? So he's removing the sand for preparing the ground for building the Ptolemy, for building the temple. And this is Horus the falcon. Again, as you can see, Horus the falcon was the double crown, the white and red of the north and south. And then, if you go this way, you'll still see the Ptolemy presenting an offering to Horus the falcon was the double crown. And if you came further, you're going to see the Ptolemy taking the measurement of a temple with a rope, with a string. You notice lots of the scenes that are chip, 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 chip. All the scenes are chip, 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 chip. They want to have scenes of gods on the walls of the temples. So, because this was a sign of paganism. This is a sign of paganism. So they wanted to show that they are now the new believers. So they defaced the scenes. You notice they defaced the faces, the arms, the feet. They didn't want it to look perfect, because they didn't want to have this ancient cult scenes or this ancient paganism scenes in the temple. So they're the ones who did. So they're putting a cornerstone of the temple, and here is Horus the falcon, and here is the Ptolemy. And what they have here is the Ptolemy, and in front of him is goddess Seshat, the goddess of mathematics. They're doing restoration work in the Holy of Holies over there. I finished my PhD. And the defense will be on the 25th of November. This is the master scene of the temple, ladies and gentlemen. Carrying the sacred barge. Carrying the sacred barge. Short kilt, that was a fashion. He's wearing a leopard skin. He's wearing a leopard skin. See that? He's putting sandals in front of him, and before him are the high priests. And they got to shave from head to toe, sign of purification. How many priests we have there? Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on and so forth. They're standing behind each other. Those are every single priest in the temple, carrying the barge, doing the ceremony, and they're carrying the barge and going around. They're waiting the sandals. When they were inside the temple, they put on their sandals. When they walk outside in the streets, they are barefoot. Opposite from what the Muslims, let's say, do today. When they go inside the mosque, they take out their sandals when they pray. They put their shoes outside in the street. The capitals of the pillars are Corinthic capitals. And you can see the black color on the walls, on the ceiling. They could not deface the ceiling. They could not go all the way up and chip, deface the ceiling. So they lit a fire and they let the smoke, the soot go and cover the scenes on the walls, on the roof or on the ceiling.
Amir got permission for us to go into the building of Holy of Holies. Goddess of Nut, N-U-T. Looks like the Temple of Relief. All the rooms used to have wooden doors.
Watch your step here, watch the step. Go sideways, you have a look in the room. Watch your step. Let's gather here, and then we go together. Notice the skylights. The skylights all the time to allow the rays of the sun to come inside the walls of the temple. If you want to take a picture of the Holy of Holies before we go, here's another picture from here of the Holy of Holies, and
This is the Nile-O-meter.
so they would tax them according to the flood. High flood, high tax. Low flood, low tax. But the thing is, it can be high flood and bad crop. They don't care. High flood, high tax. Don't play with me. I'm here to collect the taxes. They overtax the Egyptians. That's why the Egyptians welcomed the Arabs and welcomed the Islamic religion. Because the Arabs came and said, if you convert to Islam, you're not going to pay no tax with modern life and stuff like that. Those are gathers, ladies and gentlemen. Those are gathers because the Greco-Romans built this temple and they thought it's going to rain in Edfu. And that's why they had the gathers, so that if it rained on the ceiling, it would not affect the colors on the ceiling. So they had the gathers. Meaning that they never lived there. They built it with the perspective of Rome. They built it with the perspective of rain. And that's why they had those gutters all the way to take care of the water, the rainwater that never came.
The gutters on top to take the rainwater. So we're going around the temple in the outer walls where we can see a lot more of the history on the walls.
They seem to have had a lot to say. Is there much repetition in sort of the storyline from inside to out?
Much of what?
Repetition in sort of the story?
What do you mean by repetition?
Same thing over and over again.
Where? On the walls?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were running out of ideas.
Yeah, okay, that's what they wanted to cover all the walls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was mainly for decoration. Here is the scene of Horus the Falcon. Horus the Falcon. And when he is attacking the hippopotamus, Seth is on it. See, Horus the Falcon is again attacking the hippopotamus. And that's the hippopotamus again. And that's the hippopotamus on his back. That means what? He's killed, he's done. Yeah? But you know what? He comes back, meaning evil doesn't die. Evil keeps coming back.
And these are from right to left.
From right to left, because they look, yeah. That's the story. And we have here the hippopotamus again, on his back.
He might be taking a nap.
Coming back.
He might be taking a bath on his back.
Yeah, he had to get up 3:30 2 days in a row.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's taking a nap or he's itching his back.
I like that.
Took a little walk outside and you can see the backyard here right behind the hill where you can see a lot of mud brick houses.
Clap your hand if you enjoyed the Temple of Edfu and do it hard, do it good.
So now we're going to go back and take our buggies. Looks like we're ready to go. Just had a chance to go to Horus's.
What number are we?
115. Oh, thank you. Boy, those are pretty. No, thank you. Oh, she is so sweet. No.
No.
Oh, we got a traffic jam here. Okay, now we go.
Go. Go.
We're on our way back to the boat. We had a chance to get a group picture between our two tours of the two temples. I set up the camera for the shoot. Everyone had a chance to get ready for the picture and came to the upper deck when they were ready. Members of our tour took various positions, with Amar showing us a workout. The results were super. Amar, where are we going now?
We're going to the temple of Kumambo. Now I'll give you this admission ticket. They will mark it at the door. Put it in your pocket because you don't need it here. You need it later at the museum.
Okay.
Oh, mask? I don't know.
This is the temple of Kumambo.
The Temple of Kumambo.
That's you want the Wi-Fi now?
Yeah, so
Basha, Rafa, عايزين نشغل Wi-Fi.
can I just do something real quick? I'm gonna connect to this Wi-Fi and I'm gonna do a Facebook Live and then say hi to the travel agents and maybe I'll say, hey, say hi. You guys turn on Facebook Live and then I'm just gonna say hi everybody and I'll say, here are all the members on the trip and you guys can say whatever you want. Screen this? Yes, you can do whatever you want. And then I'm gonna turn it over to Amr, who is gonna tell us about it.
I'll put on my mask.
Politician's mask right there.
I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll go back to
something else. Yeah, something else. The Temple of Kumambo, and it has been here since again 200 BC till 200 AD. What I wanted to show you here, by the way, is this piece of wood. That's a petrified piece of wood. Not everybody knows about it, but this is how they used to keep the stones together. This is the dovetail technique. This is a key lock. They cut the stones and they hammer a piece of sycamore wood or acacia.
So that's the wood that they use for the...
This was how they kept the stones together. So they cut the stones, they hammer this wood piece.
Yeah. This is a historical moment.
Can you see me, Amr? I mean, Rafi.
Yes.
Can you see me? Hi, everybody. So we're live here today with Amr and Rafi from Alexander and Roberts. Oh, awesome. We have a light now.
Yep.
And if we can pan around, Rafi with the phone. These are all the great members, AAA members. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
On the trip together in Egypt.
More light?
Yeah. Yay, there you go. Yes. Wonderful. All right, great. So this is Amr, and he's going to tell us all about where we are right now.
All right, so hello everybody, and we are now in the Temple of Kumambo. I just want to welcome everybody here in Egypt, and we are on the Nile trip. We just did a cruise from Luxor. We're heading to Aswan on the Nile. We just got off the boat, the Oberoi Philae. We got out of the boat and we came to the Temple of Kumambo. That's a Greco-Roman temple that dates back from 200 BC till 200 AD. This temple is very special because it was built for two gods at the same time. It was built for Horus the falcon and for the crocodile god Sobek. Horus was the good god here in this area. He's the one who was helping everybody, and people liked Horus. Sobek the crocodile was jealous, so he decided to get rid of Horus. He wanted to be all by himself in Kumambo, in this town. When Horus left, he took with him all the farmers, and Sobek stayed, and they started to farm the land. Instead of having crops, they started to have gold. That's why this is the name of this town. Kumambo means the hill of gold. They could not eat the gold, so the crocodile god Sobek had to bring back Horus and his people, and they had to cultivate the land, and both of them lived in this town. So they just wanted to give a teaching here in the ancient Egyptian cult that everybody, can be together, and they built even this dual temple for Horus the falcon and the crocodile god Sobek in 100 BC. This is a Greco-Roman temple. You have been already to the Step Pyramid in Saqqara. I just want you to know that the time frame from us today, where we are in 2021, to this temple, the time when this temple was built, 200 BC, equal to the time frame from this temple when this was built to the Step Pyramid in Saqqara. Exactly the same. In other words, the step pyramid in Saqqara to the people who were living at this time of building this temple was already as old as this temple is old to us today. Isn't that something? That shows you how spacious the ancient Egyptian history is. You know, now let's go inside and explore the Greco-Roman temple with the capitals that are Corinthic. The Greco-Roman temple, and it's very clear from the Corinthic capitals, they're different from Karnak and Luxor temple, the ones we have seen in Luxor, which had the capitals of the lotus and papyrus, flower and plant. Now all the capitals look different. You can still see the remains of the colors since the past. Remains of the red and the blue and the green, because those parts were not exposed to the sun, you know what I mean? We're talking again 200 BC. By the way, the Nile embraces the temple from two directions. Over there is the Nile River, and also to our right-hand side over there is the Nile River. So the temple is kind of surrounded by the Great River Nile. And this is quite a location, you know, that you don't see in other temples. You can see clearly the crocodile Sobek. That's the crocodile god Sobek carved. This is one of the gods to whom the temple was built. Watch your step, everybody. Watch that they're not exposed to the sun. It still has the colors since the past. See that? The names of the colors, the green and the blue, and the yellow and the red since the past. Now we have a frieze of the lotus flower at the bottom. Lotus flower, the emblem of Lower Egypt. At the bottom, as you can see, this is the master scene that shows Horus the Falcon represented twice, Sekhmet the lioness goddess, the Ptolemy being fed the key of life and holding the key of life and holding the flail and the haka, which is the ruling scepters, and then Isis with the two horns and sword disc in between, and then the ibis god the god of wisdom for the ancient. This is the crocodile god Sobek. Now this part is carved for Sobek, the crocodile. Can you see the crocodile? Here it is. You see the lights, you see the crocodile? Ask about the crocodiles in the Nile, if we have any crocodiles in the Nile. This question people ask frequently. We do not have any more crocodiles in the Nile. Crocodiles are kept behind the dam in Lake Nasser in Aswan. When we go to Aswan, we're going to visit the high dam. Behind the high dam is Lake Nasser. Crocodiles are kept behind the dam in Lake Nasser. They cannot go through the turbines or the body of the dam, you know, so they are kept behind the dam. People ask us something else about the crocodile tears. You have this expression, crocodile tears. It's true. What is crocodile tears? The crocodiles has glands under their eyes. When they eat the victim, they press on the gland, so they start crying. And this is where the crocodile tears came from. I thought that was interesting. A crocodile can eat as big as a water buffalo for 1 meal. Back to the temple, and this crocodile got Sobek. You can see he's holding the blessed scepter, the scepter of power, and behind him is Isis, the goddess of magic. Here's the Ptolemy. And it's being showered with the key of life. And the blessed scepter, the scepter of power. Now that's the Ibis god, the god of wisdom, everybody. And he's showering the Ptolemy. Is the key of life and was scepter of power. Notice the details of the carving, which is different from the ancient Egyptian pharaonic art, and that's Horus the Falcon again, doing the same thing to Horus. The Ibis god and Horus the Falcon. What we have here is the Ptolemy being crowned by the queens of Egypt. Being crowned, they're putting a double crown, the white and red. The white that looks like a cone, and the red that looks like a throne. The double crown, the white and red of the north and south. See that? Again, see the details of the bodies, ladies and gentlemen. This is again, I mean, the image showing the details of the body. That's another Greco-Roman influence. You've never seen that in the ancient Egyptian art. That's very Greco-Roman, you know. And that's again Horus the Falcon. See the details of the body. See that? That's a very big art of Cleopatra.
La dame, là,
And by the way, Cleopatra was
c'est
Greek. She was not Egyptian. The word Cleopatra is a Greek word
Oui, on a
meaning
deux
the
femmes.
beloved by her
Le roi, le
father.
pharaon parmi eux.
But as far as I'm concerned, Liz did a good job in the movie. So those two scenes belongs to Cleopatra. And you notice the cartouche. You can ask me, how do you know that this belongs to Cleopatra from the cartouche of Cleopatra? That's straight away. This is the name of Cleopatra.
Ah, celle-ci, oui.
You see, she got
Et l'autre côté,
she got the scar over her shoulder. Over her shoulder. She is not represented as this female figure that are represented
What's the
those
point?
figures on the body. She got the shoulder because she was identified by the name. She's over there. So the figure of Cleopatra is identified by the name. That's why she got this charge, she got this scarf on the shoulder to make sure that it matches with the society here. I mean, with the culture, and you know, and so that's very interesting part of Cleopatra. One of the very rare scenes of Cleopatra. This is the calendar. Well, ancient Egyptian children were happy going to school as they were happy having vacations. And the year was divided into 360 days, and there were 5 days for the gods, as holidays for the gods. The year was divided into 3 seasons: the flood season, the dry season, and the harvest season. The Nile flooded every year, and they would always wait for the flood and flood the lands. They had a crop, one crop of corn is upside down in the shore. Is a 10, and is the cotton. 1 is a dash. 2 dashes is 2. 3 dashes is 3, of course. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is a shoe. 20 is 2. 100 is a spiral. You know, the spiral is 100. 1,000 is a plant and a stick that comes out of it, like Pac-Man. You know the Pac-Man sign? So it's a plant and a stick comes out of it. It's 1,000. And 1,000,000 is a man standing with his hands up to the sky. That's 1,000,000 in the ancient Egyptian. They would start the calendar from the day the king takes office. The king is in charge. That's their new calendar, and so on and so forth. And then that's the the 2 dashes in the second day. Got it? 3 dashes in the third day, fourth day. And those are events and occasions and ceremonies that took place in the temple in those days. So that's a calendar that dates back to almost 120 AD, when this temple was active and was operating forever. He takes care of the temple. I mean, those guys are the ones who work behind the scene. Nobody knows much about them. He is here. He is taking care of the temple day and night. And this is the traditional Egyptian dress, the galabeah, the traditional dress. And he's wearing this white turban over the head. By the way, this white turban is from the ancient Egyptian times. You know, as we said, the king of the south would wear a white crown over the head, and the king of the north would wear a red crown. People in the south would wear the white turban because of the king of the south. In the past, they still kept the white turban over the head, and people of the north, the delta where I came from, they wear this reddish brownish kind of head. So that's interesting that it's still there after like 5,000 years. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Take care. You need to bring a cow tomorrow. Bring a goat. We'll leave a donation. And people would come and leave this. They would leave the donations so that the things would come true, you know. Would tell the future, even the newspapers, you read your luck every day. You read your zodiac luck every day, you know. So superstition, this came, I mean, it all goes around the same circle. Now, down here is a tunnel that goes all the way down there. And what happens is, the Pharaoh, and represented by the high priest, the Pharaoh cannot come here all the time. The king cannot come here all the time. So he would go down and crawl, the crocodile crawl, from this part to this part, only those 15, 20 meters. You know, this part to this part, and come out from the other side. This is the surgical equipment, ladies and gentlemen. What they have here is the oldest surgical equipment that we have ever found carved on the walls of a temple. But you can see here the suction cups, scissors, sponges, cups, scale for weighing the medicine. See that? Stitches, gifts, knives. You know, all those are medical surgical equipment that are as you can see, all those are surgical equipment. What they have here, infection control. Infection control now is important in all the hospitals. This is a sink where they used to wash their hands. I'm talking about the doctors. When they wash their hands before they did the operation, and it's even recognized, the sink for washing their hands. We're talking infection control. That's the birth chair. A birth chair that shows Isis with the throne over the head, goddess Isis, the goddess of magic. And she is seated on a birth chair. Now they're saying that the birth chair is the best now for delivery, you know, because gravity can do it. So they even knew that in 200 BC. This is Imhotep. They got a medicine for the ancient Egyptians. They got a medicine. He's the one who built the step pyramid in Saqqara. You know, Imhotep was worshipped as the god of medicine by the Greeks. Imhotep, and that's the eye of Horus. Lots of books says that this eye is where the RX, the art of prescription, came from. You know, the RX, where the art of prescription came from. This eye of Horus. It looks like the RX that you see in all the prescriptions of the doctors. RX, you know, that's where it came from originally. That's what it was originated. You know, when they say the wall's got ears, you know, well, this is probably where it came from. See the ears on the walls? The wall's got ears. So that's where it came from. The wall's got ears. Everybody can listen, you know.
This is the digging area where they're doing the excavations.
Nilometer. Yeah, the nilometer.
The nilometer.
And can you hear the echo? Yeah, that's the nilometer. You can see the stairs. See that?
You can see the stairs.
Yeah, and what they have here, are steps that goes all the way down. I mean, the job of Egypt in the Roman Empire was to cultivate the lands with wheat and send it to the Roman Empire to take some boats to Rome. That's why, as I told you, they used to call Egypt the wheat basket of Rome. This nilometer, accordingly, the Egyptians were taxed. The Romans overtaxed the Egyptians in the past. They overtaxed them to the extent that they would tax them according to the flood of the Nile. As I was saying in the morning, having a good flood doesn't mean you have a good crop. Most of my family are farmers, and lots of times there is good water, but there is no good crop. The flower collapses.
At the end of the day, when we got back to the ship, we found the superb towel art on our bed. We thought everyone got it, but found out it was only for those with super wedding anniversaries. After dinner, Deb and I were pleasantly surprised with a 45th year wedding anniversary cake. We shared our cake along with two others, celebrating the anniversary with the rest of our tour group. The day ended with a full moon. Time for bed, since it's another full day tomorrow.